Hello and welcome to Screen Views. I'm Dave.
I'm James.
And this is the weekly podcast where we give our views on a film and TV show.
Each episode is unscripted, unedited, so anything can happen. Listeners should be aware that we do include spoilers, so feel free to fast forward, rewind, or simply buckle up and enjoy a somewhat coherent conversation.
Our podcast is based on the idea that there's no such thing as a bad movie. Therefore, for every review, we'll give a recommendation instead of a rating.
But first up, we're going to have a quick discussion about what we talked about last week to see if our opinions have changed. And we are back. Yeah,
Hello.
Another week of vengeance.
Yeah, another podcast.
Yeah. So we are back. Last time we spoke about Incredibles 2.
Yep.
Good family fun movie.
Yeah.
It was good. Maybe not as incredible as the first one, but still pretty incredible. It's still pretty incredible too. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't think my opinion has changed much.
No,
I think you can't really go too wrong with. I mean, I think there's better Pixar films out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like
I did go see one more time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did that help at all?
It
Make
never
it worse?
changed. No, never changed my opinion. It was just I was just waiting for the funny Jack moments, and they didn't disappoint the second time. They're really fun.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and no, it's good. It's good. I was with somebody. I was waiting for her to react to different moments, and it was fun seeing. Now that I know what's gonna come up, it's sort of like,
the power, James.
Yeah, the power of knowing. Yeah, but yeah, no, I thought it was fun. Yeah, I liked it. And you got get the eye masks from your local cinema as well.
We forgot to mention that, didn't we?
Yeah, we put some eye masks on when we were watching the film.
We did.
Yeah, it was fun. Nice,
but which colour goes which way, James?
I put it on the wrong way around, so I got like a red mask, and like I was really happy, really my pride was intact. And then the woman who works there goes, you got on the wrong way, and like all of a sudden my pride just crumbled in my hands like sand.
To be fair, I did think that they were interchangeable as well. I just chose black, and like that was the right choice.
There's no difference. But
well, yeah, because I thought because it's the Incredibles colours are red and black.
Yeah,
I thought that they would be reversible, so you could just choose which one went on the outside.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing that's what you thought as well.
Yeah,
and then
clearly not from the reaction. So yeah.
Well, it worked. It still worked.
Yeah.
It fitted. I think you could have styled it out for a bit.
I got a second. Went there again, and I got a second mask to put on.
Oh, were you like, I've seen this before. I know what's.
Yeah, I put on the right way around, and then afterwards, this little girl asked the woman, "Oh, can I have a mask as well?" And I'm sorry, we're all out. And in my head, I said, I got one at home. You can have this. You can have this one. So I just gave my one away. And they all went, oh, wow, you just gave it away. Like, yeah. Yeah, like, that's what sort of guy I am. Not the fact that I've got one at home.
Yeah.
Not the fact that I know
I'm
a will go.
Hero.
Yeah. That's right. But yeah. So that's not really changed.
Yeah. Talking of heroes, James.
Heroes, yeah. We are going to be talking about the film Skyscraper. But before we do that, I just want to mention about a hero of mine. So when I talk about comic book stuff, I always watch a series called Collider. And Collider Video has a collaboration of lots of different people who just love film. And they each do different sort of things. So the guy I want to talk about is John Snap. And unfortunately, he did die last week. He died from a stroke. It was quite sudden. No one knew it was coming. And I know he's good friends with Kevin Smith. He's been speaking about him. And people who know about him have felt this effect. But a lot of people don't know about him because you need to be in the know to know him. And yeah, he died. And he's all over the internet. You can look up his him and Collider video on YouTube. And he does a really cool series called Comic Book Shopping on Collider Heroes. And basically he takes out stars from movies and TV shows to comic book stores, and they just basically go around and just buy comic books. And you got stars from Rick and Morty. You've got Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool. He goes in there, does a comic book buying. You got Frank Miller, who draws comic books.
Yeah,
goes in there,
sounds
cool. Comic book
thing.
And also Linkin Park people like the band going in there to talk about their love of like comic books and also comic book movies. And he's a really nice guy of cross collaborate. He loved comic books and really loves films as well. And when you're talking to him, he's not lecturing you on, oh, this is how it should have been, or this is how it should have been. And if you talk about a film he disappointed in, you could tell that he wanted it to be good. And so there's that proper drive there. So even when it's not a great film, he's saying, yeah, we would have been cool to do this and that, and like I was really looking forward to this. And you can really enjoy his sort of like, you can really enjoy just how he talks. So John Snapp, great guy, great reviewer. If you come across, I thought I saw him on Comic Book Day. I went to the comic book store in central London, and I saw someone who looked like him, like behind the counter signing something. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's John Snapp. I get to get some signs from him, but it wasn't. But the moment I thought I saw him gave me so much joy. so thank you for that. The idea of seeing him. I never got to meet him, but my brain thought I would meet him for a moment earlier this year. So, yeah, that's John Snapp. And I reckon he would have had lots to say about this movie, Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hope you didn't mind. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to see Skyscraper. We've been talking about it for a while now.
We've been talking about going to see it,
Yeah, Skyscraper.
Actually managed to make the trip.
Second week. I think it's the second week it's been out here. Also, second week in China as well. They released in China at the same time.
Oh, right, okay.
Normally, Hollywood films have difficulties get films into China.
Yeah, but that's important because the whole film is set in Hong Kong.
A lot of films, they purposely set stuff in China or link it to China to try and get into the Chinese market. So, like, every now and again, there'll be a secondary Chinese character who's there for, like, no reason. Because, like, there's films like Logan, films like Alien Covenant, there's big films which have just been banned in China. And just haven't really been promoted very well. But this one is going strong in China. Second weekend in number one in China, and looking like it'll probably third weekend number one as well.
Right. Okay.
So that's quite interesting.
Yeah. I mean, interesting in itself. So the premise of the movie is about a skyscraper. Yeah. Which is like the
heart of the movie.
The heart of the movie is the skyscraper. I mean, without the skyscraper, you wouldn't really have the film.
Bushfire.
It'd just be called Building.
Yeah.
And the film is basically it's sort of an action movie based around the skyscraper. Don't really. Well, I mean, I suppose we're going to go into spoilers, aren't we, in this episode? We always do. So, but the general premise is there's people trapped in the building, good people, bad people. The Rock, or we're not supposed to call it
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
He was The Rock,
Dwayne
and
the
then
Rock
it was
Johnson.
Dwayne Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
now
he changes his name. He's doing
trying to get away from The Rock.
He's going down the like Prince route. He needs to get into the building to save his family.
It's
high drama.
It felt like a very 90s sort of, like, in terms of the structure of the movie. It felt very, very, very like early 90s sort of structure.
Any films in particular?
Can't think. Well, obviously it does. It does. Obviously, there's close tie between Die Hard and this film. But just in terms of the flashback sequence to, like, hey, we're the loving family bit, like, and like we make sure we at least say love you 10 times. I mean, like, they'll definitely get the love you part of it. Nobody goes into this movie and gets hopped for the movie and thinks, does Dwayne The Rock Johnson love his family? Because he said it so many times. I love you. Who do I love? Who do I love? You love me. I love you. I love me. I love you. I love me. I love you.
That was sort of like... I feel like there were moments in this film, like, every so often where they were, like, trying to create, like, almost catchphrases. Yeah. You know, like the Yippee-ki-yay. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, let's create these great action moments where somebody says, like, a really cool line and everybody will remember this movie for those lines. The unfortunate thing is I've forgotten, apart from the you love me thing. I mean, I've forgotten the lines.
It's also the fact that she can't turn her phone on, and he does this whole big speech about like turning it off and on again. And thinking, oh, okay, that's gonna go up again.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have too much issue with the dialogue, other than I did feel like it was trying to create these, like I say, every so often there was this like punchline that I feel like the director writer wanted me to remember and love, and I just didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's also unfortunate how we don't really go into anybody's. There's no real character development in this film.
Well, yeah, like
a bit of a shame.
It's like straight into. I mean, even at the start. So the start, you have the initial sequence where you find out why and how Dwayne gets his leg blown off. Like,
doesn't really make any sense in terms of the geometry.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can forgive the like physics of the explosion and what. I can forgive that. Like, he had his leg blown off. But even then, like, after that, there was, like, a montage of the skyscraper being built. And, and I just sort of thought, but then we didn't see any of the recovery. And I just sort of thought, in that sequence, my sort of thinking is, well, here's a metaphor of, like, this, like, unbelievable building being built. But also tie in rebuilding his life. Like, why? And I feel like it just wanted to do this thing that modern movies feel like they need to do, which is like, we've got to get to the action. We've got to get to the action as soon as possible. And if we don't get to the action as soon as possible, we're going to lose the viewers. And to be fair, like, looking around the audience, I was like, there was a kid like playing on their computer game because they were waiting for the action bits, and I'm just thinking, well, maybe movies do need to get to the action parts, because like, are people just like are not willing to wait?
Well, in terms of like, I just didn't feel like, in terms of if I think about each of the characters, what they like and what they don't like. Okay, we look at his friend, and his friend is an enemy, and then his enemy is not an enemy. He's just jealous, and he says, "I orchestrated this," and is what meant to happen.
Yeah, I think I clocked straight away that he's definitely a bad guy.
I'm glad they made it obvious after, like, they showed him doing a text saying, okay, he's clearly a bad guy. Because it was just too obvious for me to think, are you meant to be tricking us as the audience? Are you planting these shots in to make people go, oh, afterwards? Or because I don't know really, because I think I look into films way too deep sometimes. I watch so many films. So I don't know if this is a sloppy attempt at plotting something in for a big reveal later on, or if it's meant to be obvious so the audience knows that we know.
Yeah.
So basically the filmmakers know that we know that the guy's bad.
Yeah, I think it's just this like troublesome 12A rating stuff that comes again. Like, I feel like we always have these kind of like issues around the 12A films, and I do wonder that it is this way. We've got to like mansplain stuff in the films for the younger audience. So if there is a sort of 9-10-year-old there, they can follow along. And I'm just like, trust the audience. Just trust the audience a little bit more. I mean,
it didn't trust us at
all. And I kind of feel like that guy might have been a more interesting character if he actually wasn't bad, or he like. We thought he was going to be bad because it was obvious, like you say, from the start.
Yeah.
And he needs to get hold of this tablet or whatever. And why not reveal? Why not develop that character? Like, keep him in the movie. Don't kill him off in the first 10 minutes. And then Dwayne's got like somebody to work with. Like, he starts off as bad, but then sees the good side and turns back. And like, it just felt like it kind of I can't remember who the actor was that plays this part that we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't even until like 10 minutes ago.
Oh right, okay.
No.
But I've seen him in other stuff,
Yeah.
and I think he's a really good actor. I just thought it was like a waste.
Yeah.
There was a couple of there's another character, and I know you know who I'm going to talk about who does this. But yeah, who is it?
Actually,
who is he again?
I think there's like I couldn't the same just sort of how you I could think of like probably 2, 3 sort of characters which that. So
Applies,
I don't know who you're going to highlight in a minute. So.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, it felt like this movie was not. There wasn't a lot of character development.
The actor who played his friend was Mustache Guy from Orange is the New Black.
Ah, yes.
That's what I've seen. It's really interesting.
That's not his actual character name, is it? But I know instantly who you're talking about now. Yeah,
I think it's really interesting because that's instantly somebody who, on face value, is very stupid, comical. But then there's something behind the way he performs the character Orange is the New Black, which I always found really interesting.
Yeah,
like you see from straight away. So I can sort of because sometimes I like to blame act. Sometimes because they're front facing and they're the people who are portraying the characters. Sometimes you just go, oh well maybe that just isn't a good actor, or maybe. But then again, I'm just looking at thinking how many layers he performed in that small role in Orange is the New Black. I'm just thinking, no, I don't know if he was in a more grown up film, and if this treated characters a lot better, I think it would have been a more interesting film. I mean, in terms of like the kids don't have any characteristics at all. I mean, one of them has asthma.
Yeah.
And that's it really. And then one of them gets named a king. One of them gets named I don't know what else. But and then there's a point where they separate. They go, okay, so we're going to learn more about this character. She's going to be on her own. We're going to learn more. But no, they don't really give us a chance to actually explore the kid characters.
Yeah.
In terms of the female character, her characteristics are basically explained on a computer screen. Oh, this woman does this, and this, and this.
Yeah, but did they even explain that she's like got combat experience?
Yeah, sort of. On the computer screen.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Military background with so she's a military doctor.
Yeah.
With experience in talking different languages. So there's a tick sheet for the language bit, like I know what you're saying.
Yeah, later on. Yeah.
And there's a tick bit for the combat training.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like
got to explain stuff in got to explain stuff as quickly as possible in like 2 or 3 seconds, like visually, so we can move on to the next action bit.
Although I don't know, you look back on like films like look back on like films like The Dark Knight and look like the I know it's trying to think of all like films set in like one, but look at Phone Booth. That's just set in like one phone booth. That's like how thrilling and exciting and suspenseful that film is.
Yeah. But it takes its time, doesn't it? But like we don't suddenly, like it build. There's a build up, isn't it? So it starts off quite small with just like a phone call in a phone booth, and then the events sort of build. Whereas this film, it's like, building, fire safety, fire is happening now. What are you going to do about it? It's like it just felt like it needed to get through those paces.
Well, I guess there's no tension between the villain and the hero. I mean, with Die Hard, there was that tension. There was a phone conversation.
Yeah, because they speak on walkie-talkie, don't they?
Yeah, and also they've also the villain's understanding about like how many team members are dying, and he's understanding of what's going on exactly this time.
Yeah,
it didn't really feel like there was any sort of knowledge of what was happening in the building. He'd send people down. We're like, oh, no one could survive that, and like, oh, okay, well, no one checking back, like, hello, have you got him, or where is he, or status, please, or these are a military team, but I didn't really feel like any sort of like teamwork or communication,
which is very important for teamwork.
Yeah.
And there's a lack of communication throughout.
There was also so there's one stupid bit before I forget it, because I need to say it before I forget it.
Go on.
So they got half a material they put down on the ground, got gas masks on.
Oh yeah, and then just take their gas masks.
They take them off, like they're in the same environment. There's no logical reason except for to see their faces. We can't afford another step or another location, so we can't walk out and take the gas masks off. We want people to get to see their faces, so to take them off in that environment. That was just...
I thought that was a bit silly.
Yeah. I did like the fact that there was an excuse of having crappy green screen for the final showdown. Because I know there's lots of green screen in this. I know it's all...
You mean the one where they basically copied the James Bond film? Is it Goldfinger?
Goldfinger?
Or The Man with the Golden Gun?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a carbon copy.
Damn. Yeah. Well, I was looking very early on, thinking, okay, what's going to happen? It's going to be like a full CG end bit. So I'm looking for something sort of a big swing sort of thing. But then he used a crane thing to get onto the building. So probably going to use that again. My prediction was that the ball would come loose.
Yeah.
And that would be my prediction, that I'd roll to freedom.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to happen, but I can just see happening. Why create a
that
building
type
with a
of
ball
music?
on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the minute he shows, the setup is there where he shows the mirrors, and it's basically the same concept. It's like the mirrors and I'm sure the listeners to this podcast can work out what goes from there. But yeah, it was just like the minute he showed that, because there was no need for that piece of technology. It didn't even make sense. No. The impressive piece of technology is the crazy view of Hong Kong, which was done really well.
Yeah.
Where that you can see all around you, and it's like you're floating in the air. That was the technology.
Yeah.
These panels popping up and down that was like mirrored.
Yeah.
There was no need for that.
Yeah.
But yet that was like the significant setup. And the minute I saw that, I was like, right, that's what's going to happen at the end. That's the final showdown. Yeah. And so I don't think there was any surprises there. And
I do like the fact that they said, bring the parachute over. Like, stop, don't come any nearer. I was going, okay, well, they're clearly holograms. And then they weren't holograms. So they're going, okay, well, if it's not this time, it's going to be next time that happens. And it was the next time it happened.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose we shouldn't I feel like we've jumped into sort of some of the nitty gritty. Yeah. And I mean, overall, on face value, this is a very, a quite a well-made action film. It's got what you need in it. It's got suspense.
Yeah.
It's got
it's exactly what you expect.
Crazy sort of, high up stuff happening where Dwayne's climbing around the building, jumping off places. So on face value, this film does what, like you say, that what the audience would expect. Yeah. It's an action film about a massive skyscraper building, and there's some bad guys and some good guys, and Dwayne's goal is to save his family, and we're going to see how that happens. So fundamentally, from an action point of view, it sort of works. There's tension there. There's moments where you sort of feel that tension, and I thought that some of the CGI with the building was really good. Yeah. So I think on face value, there's a lot of okay stuff about this movie.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, I'm trashing I hate it. There's some laugh out moments in it, but I think I was content by most of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not. But what I'm trying to get at is the whole premise of our podcast is that there's no such thing as a bad movie. And
I keep forgetting that.
And I think it's the 12 A's and these kind of films that always test that a little bit. Yeah. Just because I think you and I we look at stuff and we go straight away, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. Why are you not doing these things that just little things? Yeah. To sort of make it better, and I think sometimes I guess they're sort of sometimes it's a monetary decision, sometimes it's poor writing or good or I was about to say good writing, but sometimes maybe there is stuff that we're not seeing. That's why I always try and think, right, what are they trying to do with this? What are they trying to say to the audience? Like, who are they targeting? I think those kind of questions are important. So I think, for me, like, on face value, you if you go to see this film and you realise that it's just going to be a cheesy action film, you want to switch off and, like, not, have to think. It does that job. Yeah.
It's I think it does that. It's played by numbers. It's all good. It won't blow you away. It's a pretty safe film. You've got this film, or you take a risk on another film. Go for this film, and like probably a good film for dads and teenagers.
I
think
and
teenagers probably.
I think what it's not is a classic that you're going to be talking about in 10 years' time.
No,
it's not going to be like as memorable as Die Hard. He's just instantly forgettable.
Yeah,
and I think the problem is that it could have done a lot more.
Yeah,
I mean, and just the whole. I know, like, on the last podcast we spoke about the amputee sort of aspect of it. Like, it didn't play as major role as I kind of thought it was going to. Like, it just sort of felt like, is it that Dwayne Johnson is just so awesome that we need to just, like, handicap him a little bit? Like, it just didn't feel. It just felt like, how can we make an action hero, but he's not crazy amazing? You know what I mean?
He wasn't really. I mean, there was a point where he was repairing it because the foot span round, and I would have quite liked to see, like, him going through something and sort of misstep because he didn't realise his foot has span round. There's no there was nothing like that. It was just like the fact that now I'm going to repair myself. I'm gonna whack my foot back into position.
Yeah.
Like, well, I didn't realise your foot was out of position. When did you realise? Because you can't feel it. So surely there should be something which, is that something that we should should you have failed or something because you weren't in full control?
Yeah,
I also don't like unbelievable damages to the body without any repercussions. When you pull something out of your body, which is like 6 inches into your shoulder,
that's just reminded me of
one
of the lines that it was trying to, like, create. You can fix anything with duct tape.
That is so.
What was it?
To the camera.
It was almost like fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
Duct tape is getting a good. That was either, like, really terrible product placement, or what I suspect is, like, trying to make this, like, memorable lines that people were going to quote in their day-to-day life.
And he brought it back later on.
It was
just be like,
what was it? What was it? Something about
duct tape.
But
what you need.
You come. If you can't fix anything with duct tape, I can't. I just can't. Maybe the listeners need to go and watch just for that line. The other thing, right? So just while I'm thinking about it, the other thing that I didn't sort of get was that. So in the first sequence, which was really well directed, I thought, actually, where with the people coming down the mountains, the SWAT team, coming to stop the hostage situation. For that whole sequence, really well directed, really good. But what I didn't get was that he was part of the SWAT team, so he was like military background.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, for the rest of the film, he's this, like, fire expert. And I was like, it was like, I thought he was going to be about security, but, suddenly he was just like, expert on fire.
Building security, which includes fire.
But then would it not have made more sense to build his character up as a fireman in the first instance, and then have him, like, go in to save somebody from a fire, but, something happens, his leg gets crushed, or, and then we see, so psychologically he's sort of damaged from...
I do see what you mean in terms of, like, his personal story progression, but in terms of, like, in the actual story, if you were in, like, a military sort of environment and something awful happened to you, I can sort of see somebody trying to get away from that environment by going into sort of strategic building security.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I felt like it didn't know whether he was security or whether he was like a fire safety expert.
Well, security. He didn't really know that much about fire. It's not like he was a huge fireman.
Yeah, but all the thing, like his whole analysis thing, was all based around fire.
Well, he knew about he has to know about like fire safety as well.
Yeah, but like
Because
you'd hire a fire safety expert for
weaponry.
That. Like I think it didn't. It just felt like it just felt like there could have been more of a tie-in. Maybe my film would be like too obvious.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody go, oh, but surely that would make sense. He's like, he's a fireman who's like an expert at getting people out of a burning building.
Yeah.
But he gets injured, so he moves into fire analysis.
There's no way he'll put his family up on that floor.
Well, yeah, but then I suppose if he deemed that the building was safe, because he says the whole line about it being the most sophisticated fire security.
What was the line? That was like it's unpenetrable like Fort Knox or something. I don't know what was.
I didn't catch that line.
Oh, there's also the evil British guy. Oh, what was his name?
Oh, he's the one that I was going to say was like a waste of an actor, because he's in Star Wars, isn't he?
Noel Taylor. It's just wasted.
He's.
He never added anything.
He's in Star Wars. Is it Rogue One? Or am I getting him confused with
Rogue One?
Am I getting him confused with another actor?
No, he's not in Rogue One.
What was he in
then? He's been in Peaky Blinders. He's in Edge of Tomorrow. He was.
Are we talking about the same guy here?
Free Fire. He's in Paddington 2.
Which character are you talking about in Skyscraper then?
The English guy. Okay. Sorry, for the podcast, I am.
Oh yeah, he's in Almost Famous. I feel like you're focusing on the wrong.
Which other English guys there?
No, not in Skyscraper. On IMDb when it shows you the films that they've been in.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're listing the ones that I wouldn't associate this actor with. Like I would associate him with Almost Famous.
Yeah.
Life Aquatic. Who's in Paddington 2? What's he called again? Noah Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in terms of Star Wars, I am getting him mixed up with a different guy, though.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. But he was completely wasted. Also the
I was in Game of Thrones as well. Yeah.
I should have known that. There's also the main plot is about getting a hard drive. So basically, if the owner of the building dies, then the hard drive, the list will be leaked anyway because it's online. But there's also a hard drive as well.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Yeah, but you're in this tower, and you've got like still there's power, and you can still get a TV connection, and all phones work, so you can clearly just email the list out. There's in terms of like, this is like the only. It wasn't like a fail-safe plan. Because if he knows he's going to die, he's just going to email a list to and disclose to somebody else.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
If you kill me, then they're going to leak it.
Yeah,
I
just felt like it was like, he needs to have an excuse to stay alive.
In today's technology, I don't think how you can base a plot around about trying to get.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think also what because the claim was that I put some like virus into my wire transaction that traced all of their wire transactions and then magically revealed the names on the bank account. I mean, I could be wrong about this because I don't know about cyber security and that sort of stuff, but I suspect that's not
there would have been one
because the whole point is that
there would have been fake names as well.
Yeah,
like you would have got loads of businesses that the money laundering goes through different businesses. Or you would have just got loads of like shell businesses.
Yeah, I suppose the idea was that eventually it would go to the person who needs it, the criminals.
But just email a list out.
Yeah, I thought at some point it was going to be like some like priceless like artifact that like, you know, he kept in his security thing that they were trying to get so they could sell it on.
That's a big.
It was
That's a
like
big
worth.
USB. You see the USB? It's like
Yeah.
like really chunky.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's why I thought it was like an artifact, or was it, you know, some. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it just didn't. It's sort of just. I just sort of think just be a little bit better.
I thought it would have been about the technology in the globe thing. I thought it would have been something would have been linked to that. Because they made a point of like, oh, I need to show you this.
Oh yeah, this amazing.
He didn't need to show.
Even that would make more sense as a plot line, wouldn't it? Like they need the technology behind that so they can sell it on to high bidders.
Yeah.
You know, or just set up, or there's somebody else building a replica building that, you know, and they want to steal. Yeah. I don't know. Just any, like, a number of things. But yeah, you're right. The USB thing didn't really make sense.
Because what you could do, let's say, okay, let's replan the second half of this movie. Okay, so what the actual like what they're trying to get is the top bit is a sort of a strategic sort of you can control a robot and you can enter the robot into an artificial area, and basically you can walk around like the robot. You can have the mindset of a military man with the instincts of a military man, but without any risk of anybody dying in an enemy territory.
Right.
So basically, you're walking in the globe, but basically you've got this drone which has scanned the area. So you've scanned the area.
Oh right, yeah.
And you've got like a drone. You've got like a robot in there to sort of copy your movements. I don't know.
Well, just you know, USB though, James.
Yeah.
You know, those.
One thing that annoyed me as well was the fact that it went for the flashback, went forward to present day, and then it did a time lapse of this building being built. So I'm thinking, okay, so is it present day now, or is it now? Or is this in the future when this building's now been built?
Yeah. I think it's slightly in the future when the building's been finished, I guess.
So the building's sort of in pre-production right now. It just annoyed me they put like present day. Like, I don't know.
All right. And it wasn't present day.
Well, you wouldn't expect a film to say present day and then do a time lapse over days and weeks and months. Oh, I've got like no idea when this is set now.
Oh, I thought it. Okay, yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was like. Well, I mean, it was 10 years, wasn't it, as well? Like, because he mentions how the accident happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So 10 years had passed for this building to.
Yeah. I didn't realise his friend was there. I didn't recognise because the friend they were all built up. Only the rock took down everything.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and his friend like had this like missing the scar on the side of his. Also, Dwayne had no other scars apart from the leg injury. He took his top off and there was no other scars. And yeah. I just feel like the whole leg thing didn't really. It was sort of there, and then it kind of didn't really matter. It's like in that first fight with the guy from Orange Is the New Black, you kind of felt it a lot. Yeah.
And then like after that, it was just like he was just kind of.
Yeah.
You know, it was there, but it sort of wasn't there, and it was only there when it needed to be there. If you know what I mean, like, and
I just realised something else.
Sorry, go on.
Oh no, you finish your point.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
So they get to a point where the guy, the boss has locked himself into his little vault area.
Yeah.
And the bad guys go, well, we'll just have to any man can be pressured into do anything. Dwayne is like, I can't do it. Well, anybody can be pressured into doing something. So we're going to take your daughter. So we'll just leave him alone. They just left him to her. They're like, we'll come back in 10 minutes. If you've not got this door open, we're throwing your little girl over there. It's just like, have somebody there. Why are you just leaving him? So your plan now is just to go onto the roof and hope that he
succeeds. Yeah.
If he has a plan, maybe he needs some help. Maybe he needs like. Because imagine like if he said his plan. Okay. So I've got to get down there, But obviously, you know how difficult it is for me. So if I can get you one person on that side of the, they could have worked as a team.
Yeah, and then like a couple of the bad guys die because that makes like
and it's sort of like, and also that would have created tension because all of a sudden the bad guys and Dwayne Rush are working together. On something, even though they're threatening him, they both have to have a mutual sort of respect and
that would have been a cool scene because they kind of like they need his help, he needs their help, but he needs to keep them alive, they need to keep him alive. So that sort of works like that. That could have been, you should keep that one in the locker, James.
How long would have if The Rock couldn't get in the room, like what did they do? How long?
There was no time limit set, was there?
But to go up there with failure, they're going to throw his daughter off. There's literally nothing he can do. He's just going to sit there and go crazy. Knock on a door, maybe like, hello, mister?
Yeah. And then the whole section with the bridge as well.
Ugh.
What are you going to do? I'm going to hold up the bridge. I'm going to take these two convenient things beside me and pick them up and hold them with my big muscles.
They also never showed how that made any difference whatsoever.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not like you tried. They figured, oh no, this is like 1 second. Let me try this, and it's also she falls over in the middle, and then gets up, and then a second later they ran over. They've done it all.
Yeah, but it's just like it was the. It was just like the convenience of the two ropes to hold on to, to like keep the bridge.
And none of it was dirty. None of it was like proper like thick smoke. You know, because that's the main killer. That's the main like. There's no scene where it's like we need to get out of this floor because this floor is getting too full up with smoke. Yeah. There's no like.
There's a convenient amount of smoke that they could breathe and stay alive and not pass out.
And it's also the second villain team with the woman villain. No one's she's dangerous. And the Dakota going, nobody can actually fix this apart from me. She's like, well, thank you very much. It's sort of like, why say that? Like, you must have watched movies growing up. You know not to say that.
But also, like, I see what you're getting at with the whole 90s vibe. So, like, some of it felt. That scene in particular feels like a bit GoldenEye-esque, like Boris. And just and the whole cop, like the cop in charge of like doing like, let's just wait around. I want to talk to him. Like to talk to that guy. Yeah, really like to talk to that guy. Gets to the end. Oh, nice to finally meet you. You've got a nice family. Like Dwayne, like has no idea. Dwayne's just come out of this like massive like fight, like has no idea who this guy is, and he's like, "Nice to finally meet you." It's like, who the are you? Like seriously,
why are you putting a plane down there in front of all them reporters? Don't put him down. No, just fly him away. Fly him away.
Yeah. Like, what was that? Was there whole like some whole statement about? Like how we watch disasters or something, I don't know, because the whole crowd were there the whole time watching, and there was always a convenient like helicopter camera on the like main events of the building,
because there's two things going on at the same time on two different levels, thinking, I could only see one helicopter. So clearly the director of that news show so like, okay, now get up there, now come back down here, now go back there, go back there.
Getting those angles, getting those sweet money shots.
I wonder how this. It's lucky because obviously it takes a long time to write a film, make a film, and get a film out there. Yeah. And like the Grenfell Tower situation, which was like about 10 months ago now. I was looking like it's coming out. This is coming out now rather than back then because.
Well, it was like
too close to home.
Yeah, well, that's when like films got postponed around the 9/11. Stuff, didn't they? Because they were too like on the nose. I did think that. I mean, like, in terms of like a recommendation for this film, I'd like probably recommend this film for anybody who wants to see a mindless action film. Who I wouldn't recommend it for is anyone who's been in that kind of situation of a burning building, and also anyone who's afraid of heights as well. It's really not a good film for that. I think if you are afraid of heights, this film would be intensified a lot. And to be fair, those kind of sections where he is climbing around the building were done really well, I thought, in terms of building tension. The reasons behind him being in those situations are not the best, but
my best tension bit is the one where he's climbing up the crane and he accidentally slips, because that wasn't like
because it's
no
quite
one's
quick,
expecting that, and and that's the only time I was like, whoa. All the others, I think I was just like, my mind was just, you can't trick me again. I'm in this sort of world now, and
they tried to do it too many times as well, didn't they? Yeah. Like, when he's like grabbing onto a ledge of nothing. Like, I don't know if you've seen like how many people in movies always grab a ledge of like nothing. Yeah. I'd really like to test how.
With a couple of fingers.
Yeah, like how easy is that in real life? I suspect not at all. Yeah. And you just sort of think, well, like, give them something to grab hold onto, which they then do. Yeah. But then it always breaks off or something. Yeah. But
even like stuff like they don't really anticipate like human sweat. They should have. I don't know. I've only seen it in a few films where they've actually had sweat as being a part of, like, a con. What was that? I think it's Harry Potter. There's a scene where he's trying to grab somebody's hand, but their hand's too sweaty. Yeah, I felt like
slipping. I've seen that in a few things. Yeah. But just something like, I feel like we've seen the whole. Right, I'm going to fall, but then I'm going to grab onto the ledge at the very last. Kind of moment.
I think with the climbing scenes, I think Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol did such an amazing job with their climbing scene and in their skyscraper scene. Right. I think I'll always be looking back to that.
Comparing it, yeah. See, I haven't seen that, so maybe that comparison isn't there for me.
In terms of him being able to smash a window as well, I know, just the ease of smashing windows. If he knew where to smash it, if he knew because I'm assuming the outer side of the window you could, if you smash it in a corner, but because he's smashing it, I don't like it when you can easily smash windows on huge skyscrapers because
safety.
Yeah,
you'd think they'd be pretty thick for safety, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but apparently all you need to do is just grab a statue and just chuck it at the window. Yeah,
I love the suicidal guy who shot the helicopter driver as well. That was quite funny. Yeah. He wasn't suicidal, but he was dying basically, and then he shot the helicopter person, and then it crashed into the building. Yeah, just thought that was.
I thought
it's quite a lot of.
I thought is
he just taking people down with him?
The boss would have planted the pen drive on him, and then went to go with the helicopter, went to go away. I thought that was where the story was going. Right, he was leaning over him. Yeah. I was thinking, okay, well, why are you leaning over him? Thinking, okay, clearly something happening off camera here, but no, nothing happens on camera. He slightly grabs a gun and... Yeah.
Yeah. But if all they wanted was the USB stick, why not just throw it over the building so they have to, fly after it?
Yeah. Destroy it. Or email the Google
the information,
put the information in Google Drive, make a shared document.
Put it on Dropbox. You've got this futuristic technological building as well. Yeah. That's something that I've just thought of, this crazy futuristic building where you can access all the panels of all the building, and you can open doors from different places, but you're still using a USB stick.
And how many lifts are there as well?
I don't
because
know.
She got away with one lift, thinking because you could have had him. Dwayne Rock Johnson could have said, "Okay, well, you go, give me the hard drive. because that's what they will create a backup. You go with your backup. I'll take the hard drive and I'll swap the hard drive for my daughter.
Yeah, that sort of makes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, I kind of want to I think it was a good try.
Yeah. I want to see a spin-off drama about the people who insured that building.
Well, no,
that was watching.
But that was the whole thing, that it didn't have insurance.
Didn't have insurance.
No, that was the whole there was a line at the start where they said, no, that's why the residential bit wasn't open, because they couldn't get insurance until they'd gone through this security check that Dwayne Johnson was doing.
Yeah.
And so he just needed to sign off the final thing, and then they would have got the insurance after that.
Yeah. He could sell off that hard drive for a lot of money, so yeah, he can rebuild.
Well, he's going to rebuild anyway. He told us that at the end of the film.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I'm going to rebuild.
Yeah, I was thinking, how much money do you have? Surely that would have been a big part of your spending. People who are so rich, they can just say, yeah, I'm just going to rebuild.
Yeah, or just, he's so rich that he can't afford, he has to pay off these criminals to get the building built, but he can't employ a team to find those criminals and kill them.
Yeah. Will Dwayne Rock Johnson get paid for his his work? The character. And the actor will.
I don't know, because he didn't finish the job. So
yeah, sorry, mate.
That's what I thought at the end. Actually, we might see a sequence where he goes back and does the final signing.
I mean, the only thing he has to sign off on is the off-site thing.
Yeah,
he cleared everything on the
building. Yeah,
yeah. So all you have to do is just go to the other site, which wasn't.
Yeah,
there was a couple. Also, don't go into a room and shoot up everybody, including the computers, if you need to use computers. Why do that? Just poison them or anything like that, or just don't. You've shot the screens. You could have easily shot the computers.
Yeah, that you then need. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think perhaps we need to move on. Or do we?
And also, one more thing. I think this film also teaches the lesson that auto lock on your phone or any of your devices is important. Do not turn auto lock off, because if 5 minutes later they needed to scan Dwayne Rock Johnson's face again and he was just gone, oh no, we should have kept it around because we need to turn auto lock off. I never saw anybody turn auto lock off.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So easily. Do you know how hard it gets to settings sometimes? If they give you a brand new device.
Yeah.
Where's the settings?
I think there was some throwaway line. I think that was the techie guy.
But that was hours later.
Yeah, but she must have turned. There was maybe a shot where she turned it off. I don't know, but I feel like that was explained. To me
the techie guy, once he's finished, he did say that's this is it. But
yeah, maybe I perhaps there was a shot. I don't know, but
there's also the mansplaining in terms of but we need him. Yes, but if we can't get him, then we can just get the thing that he wants. And we know that he wants his family, so we'll get his family. Then he'll have to do what we say. Okay, yes, let's get this family. So
there's a quicker way to say that.
Yeah,
there really is.
Get on with it. We all know what you're gonna do. It's not a secret. But yeah, it's all right. But But if you pick up plot holes in movies, then this film might irritate you a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, I suppose it will appeal to a lot of teenagers, a lot of young adults. I guess. I don't think it's really for the lower end of the 12A.
No.
There is some quite violent parts in it, I think. I think for me, I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up.
It's violent, but you don't really care about any of the throwaway characters.
But I think for a 8-10-year-old that
because obviously 12A is like any age.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
So
But
I think it's the
parents with teenagers might be or teenagers think they're gonna go out watch a grown up film. They're about like 14.
Well,
15.
12 up.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. But I think as an adult, there's better things to get your sort of teeth into.
Yeah.
But possibly not in the moment. If you want a mindless action film, this film is pretty good.
Or stay tuned till next week where we will talk about Mission Impossible and possibly tell you about an even better film.
And it'll be an interesting comparison because, my feeling will be that will appeal to a slightly older audience a bit more than this film.
Yeah.
I think if you don't like heights, though, like I said, perhaps not for you this one. But yeah, I mean it's okay.
Yeah.
That's what are we agreed?
Yeah.
We agreed on that.
Yeah. Do you know the meh emoji?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think for me, like I feel like our base level at the moment is Tomb Raider. Yeah. And I don't think this film dropped as low as that.
Oh no. This was way better than Tomb Raider.
Okay. That's right.
This is a lot better than Tomb Raider. I watched the whole film and I didn't go for a pee break once. And that's,
Yeah, you were engaged. It's Okay, cool. So, it's not it's not the most need of improvement.
No, I think I would rather see it on a very, because I got cinema card, so I don't see the value. I don't see value in each film, but I wouldn't want to pay the full price for this film.
No, so I agree with that as well.
I'll go on a discount night.
I think
or wait for Netflix or
or DVD or Okay, cool. So
it might have been interesting in 3D.
Maybe
I trying to look at the different scenes. And especially the final sequence may have been interesting in 3D.
That's an interesting point because I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah,
that maybe they were like gunning for that.
Especially that final scene with all the panels and everything. Yeah, that would have been really interesting in 3D. So,
but you can just watch the James Bond version.
Yeah. I didn't thought about that until you said it. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
Moving on to next week.
Next week we'll be watching the Mission Impossible. But I think they will succeed it.
Is it called Mission Impossible
Fallout? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got Tom Cruise, Sean Pegg. Simon Pegg. Who's the woman in that? That's bad. The only main female cast member, and I can't remember.
I don't know. I'm so out of the loop with Mission Impossible films.
She was in the last one as well.
Right.
And
do I need to catch up? Is there anything that listeners should know going into this film who haven't seen the other Mission Impossible films? Is there any key pieces of information that we need to know?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Mission Impossible films are quite interesting because it is good to have knowledge of all of them, but they are quite good at actually being quite self-enclosed. Yeah. Yeah. Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh yeah.
Is the main woman in it.
We've seen her before. Was she in
The Greatest Showman? She was in Life. She was in. You never saw the Snowman.
Was she in the Magnificent Seven? Or am I getting her confused with somebody else?
You get her confused with somebody else.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
No, twice in one episode.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No,
I know the name.
There's like 3 actresses who are like her. But yeah, she's not in Magnificent Seven. I'm pretty sure of it.
I know the name. She's definitely been in something that is interesting to me.
In the Hercules with Dwayne The Rock Johnson as well.
Girl on the Train, Anna.
No, you're thinking of the girl from.
No, it says Girl on the Train.
Okay, maybe okay, whoopsie daisy.
But I don't. She wasn't the main character in that.
No.
I feel like there's something. Anyway.
No. Yeah, she's in it, and also Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel? Not Harvey Keitel. Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, is going to be in it as well.
Oh yeah, he plays the henchman. Is that right in this?
He plays,
or the other agent, or something?
Yeah, he plays an agent who is designed to be on their team because they're a bit cautious about Ethan Hawke's team, and basically, if Ethan Hawke's team go rogue, he's been given permission to take them out.
All right.
If
Okay.
there's a fallout, he will. Yeah.
If there's a disagreement.
Yeah.
I thought Fallout was going to be like a reference to some sort of like nuclear thing. But
No, I think that's what I know
but
of.
it's just like if they fall out, have a disagreement.
Yeah.
I don't like you anymore. I'm not
Yeah.
not working for you anymore.
Although it would be cool if it's because all the others have been like Mission Impossible, like the names I think have been related to the actual job, the actual mission, rather than the theme of the movie.
Yeah, Sean Harris is the bad guy, though, isn't he?
Yeah, the guy with the he's got an amazing voice.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
He played Ian Curtis in 24-Hour Party People.
Okay, it's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, he's really good in.
Is that with Steve Coogan? Or am I thinking of someone else? Yeah. He's
been in loads of stuff, but yeah, he's really good in that. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to that.
Interesting actor.
Yeah.
Well, just because he doesn't fit the profile of like your normal sort of.
Yeah.
I feel like they do that a bit in Mission Impossible, though, don't they? Because Philip Seymour Hoffman was the bad guy in one, wasn't he?
Amazing that. That was like one of the last films he did, and yeah, he was so good in it.
So they go for like interesting bad guys and not like
Yeah.
the obvious kind of like physical or Eastern European henchmen.
Dominic, I can't remember the bad guy in the second one, Mission Impossible 2.
Oh yeah.
He was going to be Wolverine. He was cast to be Wolverine.
Oh really?
And he broke his arm a week before shooting, and so they recast Hugh Jackman.
That's interesting.
So he's actually hired on paper, ready to do the job, but then he couldn't last minute, and they hired someone else. And Hugh Jackman has.
Did he have insurance?
Or insurance, probably insurance for like a low budget sort of like risky superhero movie. Yeah, you want to get insurance for that one movie, but they're looking at the whole Hugh Jackman's whole career, thinking, "Oh damn."
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, it's interesting.
But but he was like amazing in a TV show called The Wrong Man's, which we might actually look at some point.
Okay, cool.
So,
I mean, for me, like, I'm looking forward to Mission Impossible. I feel like I know what I'm getting in for.
Yeah.
Like, it's spy, espionage, action. You know, I feel like there's going to be some sort of moving vehicle that's going to, you know, do something like crash.
Okay.
Like,
probably.
I mean, sorry, I'm trying to make a joke that I think I've made with somebody else. Okay. Because you're not reacting in the way that I was expecting. But like normally, if you go and watch a series of action trailers, in each one of those trailers, there's always a moving vehicle that gets upturned or explodes or something.
You will be disappointed seeing the trailer. So you will be disappointed.
I'm expecting a lot of action, a lot of Tom Cruise with wind in his hair, running around places.
And in the third one, I think it's the third one. The fourth one, they introduced a new character, and that new character did some of the stunts as well. And that's kind of cool seeing two people doing stunts.
And we might see Superman. Well, not actual Superman, but you know, what's he called again?
Could be a twist ending. Henry Cavill.
Because didn't he nearly didn't get Superman? Like there was all this like up and ahhing about. I should check my facts here, but he was like kept getting cast at stuff, and then didn't happen, and it took a while for him to get like uber Hollywood famous. He was like known as the Nearly Man for ages. I think
I really wanted Ben Broma to be Superman. I think he has the right look. I think I think he's amazing. and he's in the white collar. I think he's perfect. I think he did go for it.
Right.
I don't think he got the job because he's just not the right guy for the job. But if you look online, there are loads of people saying he didn't get the job because he's gay.
Was there? Oh, I hope that's not.
I hope that's
case,
true. But you can't. I don't know. You can't really, unless you're in the casting room. You don't know why.
Was there something to do with somebody's mustache as well, like ruining something?
So in this film, he needed to have a mustache.
Right.
And so basically, he did the Justice League, and then he did this film. And then, while in the middle of this film, they called him back to do reshoots of the Justice League. But he's now got a mustache, because in this film, he has a mustache. And so Universal wouldn't allow him to shave his mustache for Justice League. So in Justice League, he went back with a mustache, and they digitally edited out his mustache in the Justice League.
Right.
So you look at his face and some of the shots in Justice League, it just looks a little bit awkward.
Right.
It's like he's got a very dry top lip.
Okay.
So,
yeah, there's something to look out for. Yeah.
Now that once you know that information, you rewatch it, you can't not see it anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Should we?
We'll wrap this up.
We're looking forward to next week anyway.
Definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be.
I don't expect it to be a flop.
Yeah.
It's one of these movies that will just live up to my expectation or blow me away.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be a flop.
Yeah, but you never know. You never know.
Maybe never know. But they've done this so many times now.
Yeah,
and
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they have the form. They have the safety formula.
And also in terms of the release date as well, like they know how to time it as well.
It's a pretty good release date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right then. Well, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
And
keep listening.
Keep listening. Keep safe. And enjoy the sun. All right.
Bye.